Jello Cantron.
Hey, what's up, Green Party, Bookworms, everybody? Um, Reviewing a book today is kind of reflective of just where my mind's at. Uh, Megan Weir just broke up with me again. Uh, so I'm a little down right now. But I'm kind of making this video right now just to get my mind off it, because this is literally like I got just skated back. I was at her place for like not even 10 minutes, and it's like again. So I'm in my feelings, and I'm feeling pain, and I've been feeling pain for the past, you know, whatever, emotional pain. Because emotional pain's a real thing. So I've got this book at the library. It's called The Joy of Pain. For your sadists and your masochists, or your psychologically disturbed, by Richard Smith. The Joy of Pain. And from looking at the context of it and everything, I was thinking that this book was going to be kind of like your cruelty versus sadism, like maybe like delve into the mind of like the reward centers of the brain, and how your psychopaths and your sociopaths and your narcissists develop physically. Uh, their expressions of feelings and emotions, and um, maybe just kind of go into the mind of uh, the mind of people who punish for pleasure. And this is something that I also feel like is relevant to the Green Party too, because first of all, I revere the Green Party as kind of like how I revere Captain Planet, and that is the worse things get for Captain Planet's purpose, the darker and more diabolical Captain Planet will become. I do not believe that as Captain Planet does his work, things are getting worse, that he will continue to exert the same methods or strategies to resolve his purposes. And I believe that if Captain Planet's doing his work and humans keep making it worse, then Captain Planet is gonna get downright devilish. Um, and I revere the Green Party in the uh, same scope, that I believe that as things get worse on the planet, and people suffer more, that the Green Party is gonna respond, and readjust, recalibrate strategies, tactics, methods, states of mind, leaders, and not platform. Platform will stay the same, but as the world adjusts, the platform will recalibrate its methods, its mentalities, its attitudes, because everything is attitude, and the attitude of the Green Party cannot possibly remain the same if things are getting worse. As things are getting worse, the attitude of the Green Party is going to become, you know what? We're not just hugging these trees; we're standing by them with a pitchfork and machete, and get ready for that heat. So, as far as the joy of pain goes, I feel like this is something that many people who have tried to organize with the Greens have already experienced too, because the Greens is a consortium of rebels, and oftentimes we rebel against one another. So, I will reference my experience with Joe Manchin, the Ohio congressional candidate that Alyssa Milano had dissed, calling out the Green Party for being spoilers and everything. I've had an ongoing online discrepancy with that guy. The Facebook is sort of like a place for like pseudo politicians to exert power. And in one of the forums before, um, the type of pain that this book is talking about is people that enjoy inflicting it. And I have a specific example of one time that Joe Manchin, the Ohio congressional candidate that, was a spoiler or whatever, according to whoever doesn't understand electoral politics and how the Democratic Party has a problem not with their votes, but with voter turnout in the first place, like how 30 million people that voted for Obama did not show up to vote for Hillary Clinton. Um, so this dude Joe Manchin's on forum. We're on the Green Party of the United States group, and I'm in there saying whatever I got to say. And he's always attacking me in these comments. There's comment wars in the Green Party all the time. And this dude's always attacking me in the comment wars. And he says, something about whatever is really bullish and crude with the way that he puts his words together, and is really offensive in the way that he says things, and is really inconsiderate of, you know, other members within the Green Party, and off the purpose of the Green Party of bringing together people and creating a world peace. So far off the common goal, is causing a problem in the comments thread, goes to the moderators of the page, says to them, who he's buddy with, says to them that I am a problem in the page. Me, a fellow Green, talking about the Green Party on the Green Party page, goes to them and says that I am a problem in the page. And this is where your joy of pain comes in, is he has them removing me from the group. And before I am removed to the group, he drops a comment and says something like, see, you just couldn't drop your argument. You just couldn't go along with the okie doke. You had to speak your own opinion. These aren't exact words. This is my sarcasm, but you had to speak your own opinion, and now you're getting kicked out of the page. Fuck you. You know what I mean? And it really brought him joy to exert that power over the page. It really brought him a joy of my pain, because I was kicked out of that page. And it really, reading this dude's comment, I could just really read how he was just relishing in his power in the page, and how much he enjoyed having me discarded from it. So the joy of pain is something, that's the kind of pain that this book delves into. And honestly, I had a hard time reading it. It's only 200 pages. It took me maybe 2.5 hours, because it's all storytelling. Like, everything's like a really prolonged story with a moral to it. And rarely do I read books and like actually be like, I'm not enjoying reading this book. But I did not enjoy reading this book. The Joy of Pain was a book I did not enjoy reading. And I'm reading through every page, like, kind of like, this is all stories with morals and everything. And as the story's developing, um it keeps like bringing up how envy, like, I was looking for like maybe a microscope over, the what goes on in the brain when people enjoy the pain of others. And what this book was really doing was putting a microscope over, like, incidences and everything. And it really put a microscope over the interactions of the people, and how, your pleasure and pain takes place. And the best example I guess I could use of that is just for like saying that, these two people are friends, but the one friend wants something that the other friend doesn't have. And so something unfortunate happens, and whereas the friend should feel sorrow, is actually feeling a sense of joy. Like, the unfortunate event happening to the other made that friend feel good, because there was something to gain from that. So it was personally, there was something to gain. So there was a sense of joy, whereas sorrow should, as friends would have it, sorrow would be the emotion there. But so it keeps telling these stories, putting the microscope on the interaction, and repeating over and over again how envy is the source of a lot of joy and pain. And by the way, this book starts with a reference from Lisa Simpson, from the episode of The Simpsons where Ned Flanders opens a left-handed store, and Homer Simpson sees the store failing, and Homer Simpson's like celebrating about it, and Lisa Simpson's like, why are you getting joy from this man's pain? And she references a German word that means what is it, joy, harm, or joy, shame, just some German word that says taking joy from the harm or shame of others. And so through the book, it keeps referencing that word, the German word, and it keeps placing envy at the source of all these interactions in the microscope. And as I'm reading through this book and all these stories, all these morals, I'm like, what is going on here? Like, what, this book is just repeating the same like word and associating the same state of mind over and over again. And for me, I subscribe to Satanism when I refer to religious texts for guidance and wisdom on how to conduct myself as a human mind. And in Satanism, it teaches things in moderation are actually totally natural and healthy, like jealousy and moderation is a natural and helpful emotion. Um, and things like envy are a natural and helpful state of emotion. In moderation, experiencing these emotions helps us to better ourselves. So as I'm reading through this and it keeps pinning envy as like the source of the joy and pain in others, I'm like, what the hell is going on in this book? I'm not enjoying reading this. I was looking for more of an in-depth and look in the human mind, physically and psychologically. And eventually it does like start to talk a little bit about brain chemistry and everything, and it doesn't mention the reward centers of the brain at all and how those are associated with it. Doesn't actually, I think, mention the word sociopathy or psychopathy at all in this book. I think it says something about narcissism. So, and that's where we actually get to what I believe is the premise of this book. And what I really don't like about this book is that the last chapter, the entire chapter, is focused on Hitler and the Holocaust. And at that point, it just kind of clicked to me like, oh, okay. So this book is basically an entire build up to look at Hitler's state of mind towards the Jews when the Nazi army had commissioned the Holocaust, which, as an American, we are spoon fed this story. It's a terrible tragedy in human history. If you read all of human history, there are many tragedies in it. And during the time of the Holocaust, there was other tragedies in it that's happening. And I'm among the people in America that want to know why we're spoon fed the Holocaust so much. So as I'm reading this book and it's building up and I don't know why, and I start reading about the Holocaust at the end, I start to really just want to put this book down. Um, and I don't mean to sound like I'm unsympathetic or unempathetic of the suffering of people in general, all around, of all creeds and colors. I am into taking the utopian steps where we are one global conscious, and it's just the way that America is spoon fed the Holocaust story over and over again. It really fucks up my day sometimes. And I don't, like I said, I don't mean to sound unsympathetic or unempathetic, but during the time of there were atrocities occurring in Africa and in Russia and all over the world. In in history class, all we talked about was this one particular incident. And here, this book is an entire build up to take a look at this one particular incident. And I don't want to glorify anybody that has is renowned for their wicked ways, and I just feel like that's glorifying somebody being renowned for their wicked ways. And as a Green Party, member, world peace is my ultimate common goal, and warlords certainly have no place in pursuing war in a global peace. So being spoon fed all this information really kind of stimulates my curiosities and about why people want to kill en masse and how it happens, and it's still happening to this very day. So this book really brought me down. I was really hoping for an in-depth look at the psychology and the state of mind, the physical state of mind of people that enjoy the pain of others. But it was basically a spoon feeding of the Holocaust, and I swallowed it like a bowl of ramen noodles void of nutrition and just sitting in my stomach, undigestible, wondering why am I eating this? I'm sad. I'm fucking sad. But I'm a bit of a sadist too, so I guess that's why I take interest in these kinds of things and just want to try to understand it. And I say a little bit. I am a product of my environment. All right. So yeah, this is Kentron, Green Party of Akron, Ohio. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't read this book. I give it like 10 out of 10 trillion Vulcan salutes. Fuck this book.